So I used a pore strip earlier today and now I have this mark on my nose. I'm not sure why. It's not like a bruise or anything, it's just this weird mark. Hi there, so today I am going to be talking about my experience with depression. I do have a video like this up, but it's my experience with anxiety. You might be able to tell from my voice, but I am currently sick right now. I have a cold, so hopefully that goes away soon. It's really annoying. It makes my voice sound really nasally, and I've been sleeping a lot. But yep, if you would like to hear my experience with depression, you can keep watching. If you're not interested in this video, you can check out my anxiety video, or just any other videos on my channel, really. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day and a great night. Oh yeah, and my hair looks a lot different in this video. I don't use heat on my hair, so I'm doing a heatless curl. I haven't done it with short hair. I used to do this all the time when I had long hair, so it's kind of an experiment to see what will happen when I take this out. I am not too hopeful that it will look good, but I guess we'll just see later. Okay, I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, but anyways, I'm just going to get right started. So I noticed depression sort of appearing in my life in grade 11 and 12. I wasn't really sure what it was. I just felt really empty, and that empty feeling lasted for a very long time. It wasn't as bad in grade 11 as it was in grade 12. I would skip school a lot in grade 12. I was just too tired to go to school, and nothing in my life really felt worth it. Like, I didn't really find going to school was worth my time. I really just wanted to die. I hated my life. I hated everything that was going on. I really hated where I was living. I hated how I felt. I used to be such a happy person and so positive all the time, and then the switch to just feeling so empty all the time made me feel really bad, and I really did not like myself at this time. So at this point in my life, I was using excessive exercise to keep my anxiety at bay. And this is a whole nother video that I'll have to make. I also went vegetarian at this time, but I was really not allowing myself to eat a lot of foods. I was really into reading up on diets and stuff, so I was interested in the paleo diet, so I would only allow myself to eat the certain safe foods that fit in with the paleo lifestyle. So I was eating a lot of soups, a lot of fruits, and a lot of vegetables. And then I would eat oatmeal every day for breakfast, but with the gym and the amount that I was eating, it wasn't enough for my body, which not eating enough can also contribute to not feeling the greatest mentally, so I'm not sure how much of an impact that had on my mental health, but I'm sure it had some sort of impact. And around this time, I started making a plan to commit suicide, which I feel very weird saying and very weird sharing, but it's a part of my life and I can't just pretend like it didn't happen, as much as I wish that I could pretend that that's not how I was feeling. That is how I was feeling at the time. And I had nobody to talk to. I didn't really feel comfortable sharing this with my friends or with my family at all. My family was having its own problems, and my friends were having their own problems, and I didn't just want to add to the problems. I wanted to seem like a perfect, super happy girl, even though I really was not at the time. So I started making this plan, and I started acting really weird towards my friends and family, saying really passive-aggressive things. I am not proud of how I was acting at that moment. Even though I was feeling a lot of pain inside, it wasn't fair of me to sort of take that out on other people. So I sent a note to the guidance counselor. I just slipped it under her door saying that I really was not feeling well. I don't remember what exactly was on the note. I just remember she wasn't in that day. It was the end of the day at school. I think it was a Friday, so it was the start of the weekend, and I just wrote her a note and slipped it under the door saying that I really needed help. Like I said, I can't remember if I had my name on it or anything. All I know is that I just sent her a note saying that I needed help. So I started weekly visits with her. It was very strange at first. Like, I said earlier, I didn't want to bother my family with this. So she was asking all these questions saying that if I actually had a plan to commit suicide that she would have to tell my family. So I lied and said, no, I don't have a plan, because I really didn't want my family to know about this. I wanted them to think that I was fine and nothing was going on in my life that was bad. So the guidance counselor helped me a lot. She provided a safe space for me to work on my assignments and my tests. Like I mentioned a bit earlier in this video, I was skipping school a lot, so I was getting behind on my tests and my assignments, and I really was not enjoying the classroom atmosphere. So she gave me a place that I could work individually. She also gave me a journal to write some stuff in, and I actually still have it today. I used it a little bit. Maybe I'll make a video of me reading some stuff from my journal. So I had a day in mind for killing myself. I guess there's no way to make that sound better. But I didn't follow through with my plan because my family was going on vacation to Florida and I had never been on vacation before and I really wanted to just get away from my life. So I decided, you know what, I don't want to ruin my family's vacation and I really don't want to ruin Christmas for everyone. So I'm going to go on this vacation to Florida and see how it goes. And on the way there, I remember freaking out at Cracker Barrel because they didn't have food that I thought that I could eat. Yes, Cracker Barrel, if you've ever been to it, has a lot of buttery biscuits and a lot of meat and just a lot of food that I wasn't comfortable eating. So I started crying. I just felt so uncomfortable and my mom had to walk me around to like the store part, because Cracker Barrel is a restaurant but it's also a store, so she walked me around the store part and we just kind of like hung out there until I felt better. And I think I just told them that I was sick, but really I just didn't want to eat any of the food. I felt so uncomfortable, so I got a green tea and it was either a biscuit or mashed potatoes. Yeah, I just pretended I was sick that whole trip. So whenever they were wondering why I didn't eat, we went out to a big breakfast buffet and I said I was feeling sick, so I just had a green tea. I actually have a picture of this on my parents' computer at home of just everyone else eating and me just having my tea, smiling in the photo. Anyways, that's a tangent that I'm going off on. The sun in Florida made me feel a bit better, but I was still obviously depressed. So everyone else was supposed to drive back home and my mom was flying back early so she could be at her work for New Year's Eve to help with, she is an office manager, or she was at the time, so just help with all of the New Year stuff happening. And I was supposed to drive back, but honestly I hated the drive down so much that my mom got a plane ticket for me, and I am terrified of planes. And it wasn't that bad. It was 3 hours in the air. I think I blocked that out of my memory because I don't really remember how it was. But we came home for New Year's and I went to a party at my friend's house and I told my friends, I was really drunk at this point, I told them that I had something to tell them and that I was really not feeling well and that I wanted to die, and of course they all cried, and I thought it was so funny that they were crying, that they cared that much, because I thought that no one cared at all, that I laughed while they were crying. And that is a really terrible thing for me to do. It's not the way you're supposed to react when people are crying. But I promised them that I would stay safe, and I worked really hard to make myself get better. I tried really hard to change my outlook on life. I would try to block out negative thoughts, and I just kind of faked it till I made it, I guess. Yeah, so things were looking up in my life until Veld. I think I mentioned this in my anxiety video. I should make a whole video on Veld. That was a weird experience. But I took MDMA at Veld, and I felt very, very depressed afterwards because that's what happens when you do drugs like that. And I felt so empty for so long, and I never really felt better. Anxiety and depression stayed with me after that. Some days obviously were worse than others. With any sort of illness, that's the case. Not every day is a terrible day. It just is kind of a mix. How long ago was this after? It was about a year and a half after. My depression got really, really bad again, and again I wanted to die, but I also kind of just wanted to leave my life and never come back, sort of like run away. I remember one day after work thinking, you know what, I could just drop everything and just keep walking and walk and walk and walk as far as I can until I'm somewhere that's not where I am. But running away from your life doesn't fix anything, so that was a bad idea. So I went to the walk-in for help with that, and I got some medication, and then I went to my doctor to follow up. And the medication helped the depression, but without the depression in my life, my anxiety completely took over, and I was having panic attacks really, really bad every single day, and I would have to take medication for it. Not like a everyday medication, sort of like as you need it medication to calm you down, but I would have to take it all the time. Eventually, I got on new medication, like daily medication, and I was starting to feel better, and I was like, you know what? I don't need medication. I'm just gonna stop taking it. And I kind of was forgetting to take it too. So I completely stopped my medication. I was like, you know what? I don't need this. I can do this on my own. But everything that was bothering me came back 20 times worse. So depression, anxiety came back 20 times worse. So obviously I should have not stopped taking my medication. And I stopped caring about anything. This includes myself, doing chores around my house, my work. Everything sort of self-care related kind of went away. I wasn't really eating. I slept all the time. I really didn't want to get out of my house at all. I just really did not care about anything. So that brings us to where we are now. So I am not working. I mentioned this in my anxiety video, or at least I should have mentioned this in my anxiety video. I am on a medical leave currently. My doctor wrote me a note saying I'll be back to work. Who knows? So I'm on new medication that I've been taking every day, and I have a bunch of books that my grandma bought for me. So some of those are coloring books, because coloring books help relax, and then others are just books about anxiety, about depression, about panic attacks. So I have those to do, and I'm seeing a counselor currently, so I'm really hoping that things look up soon. And if you are in a place of distress, I encourage you to reach out. There are some helplines you can look up. I will leave the helpline that I've used down below. If you're in high school, you could talk to your guidance counselor. If you feel comfortable, you can reach out to your friends or your family and see if they can help you. And there's a lot of things you can look up online. I found it a little bit difficult to find a counselor, but if you go through your family doctor, it will be a lot easier. It's difficult for me because my family doctor is in a different town than I live in, so my family doctor can only refer me to the place in town where he is. So that would have been free, but I don't live in that town, so I have to pay a little bit of a fee. So I'm seeing a counselor weekly. I might have mentioned that. But that is my experience with depression. It feels weird talking about it, which I think is part of the reason why there's such a stigma around mental health, is that no one really feels comfortable talking about it. They don't want to be judged or labeled like crazy, but everyone experiences different things. Even if someone doesn't experience the same thing that you're experiencing, like let's say you've had experience with depression, but someone else might have had experience with schizophrenia, you should still talk about your struggles because you never know, it might help someone out there. But yes, this is the end of my experience with depression video. I hope, not really I hope you enjoyed, it's not a good story. I hope you got something out of it though. And if you didn't, that's okay as well. And I will see you in my next video.